Welcome you all in today's presentation on corona disease, my experience in home management, and I am Dr. Harun from Bangladesh and in Dhaka in Shohid Sohrawardy, working as an assistant professor in Shohid Sohrawardy Medical College Hospital. And I share my experience as a patient of corona patient with my all family members are also affected. My father, my mother and my wife Dr. Nadia Siddiqui, full family is affected by coronavirus. So, and the total treatment of my father have some complication. He needs 13 days oxygenation and other anticoagulant injection, and full treatment is given and managed by my family members in my own home, and by the consultation over phone by my other known consultants. So, it is a great experience, and I want to share with you as a attendance of the patient as well as a doctor, that you can gather knowledge from it, and you can also have some experience which can be helped in to fight against coronavirus also in your family members or for you. I also thanks to my friends and colleagues, they are working as the consultants. There are different subjects consultants like medicine, ICU specialist, anesthetist and cardiologist, pulmonologist, all are and ENT specialist, all are contributes a lot in the treatment of my father. So, this today's topic is corona disease. Corona disease is now called as COVID-19. It is caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it causes pandemic in the all in all over the world. And now, what is SARS-CoV-2? SARS. S means severe, A means acute, and R respiratory and syndrome. That is, its virus is the main damage caused to the respiratory system. So, who are the main in risk? The risks are old age patients, comorbidity, and those who are habiting smoking or like that. So, what is the problem? How it acts? That is, the main target of this virus is respiratory tract. It's expressed by its name. Now, the respiratory problem is we can call respiratory distress or shortness of breathing, and shortness of breathing it can produce silent hypoxia. What is hypoxia? Hypoxia means the reduction of oxygen saturation in the blood. Usually in normal person, oxygen saturation usually 96 to 99%, that is 96 to 90%. If it less than 95%, it is called hypoxia, and if it is less than 90%, then patient can feel that he has shortness of breathing or his respiratory distress. But the peculiarity of the virus is, that is the most dangerous thing, he can produce silent hypoxia. That is silent hypoxia. What is silent? That if saturation goes down to 90, then maybe 80s, maybe 70s, maybe 60s, maybe 50s, but patient may feel he is well, he had no any respiratory distress. But when he feel respiratory distress, it is less than 50% or 60% or 70%. When he go to the hospital or they are searching for hospital beds, it gradually rapidly reduction of the saturation, and it causes damage of the lung, and maybe this from here maybe cause thromboembolism and bleeding in the lungs, and it will can damage, irreversible damage, and it ultimately cause respiratory failure, may cause multi organ failure, and ultimately patient goes to death. So, this silent hypoxia or saturation of the oxygen is the most important in the management of the COVID-19. So, our main target is to maintain saturation between the above the level of risk, that is 94%. If patient goes to hypoxia, we have to manage to maintain saturation by oxygenation to 94 to 96%. So, how can we face a patient? That is, a patient usually present with us to fever, cough and shortness of breathing, but usually it may cause silent shortness, silent hypoxia. It also occurs in my father. I observed that his saturation is maybe 82% and 84% or 88%. He did not feel any respiratory distress. He just say, I am okay, I have no any problem. But our pulse oximeter, this is a simple small machine that can easily monitor the saturation of oxygen, and this machine usually available in the Bangladesh, very low price all over the country, and it shows that his saturation is 82% or 85% like that. So, if a patient, our advice is if a patient of COVID-19 we suspect, before confirmation by RT-PCR test, we from the first day of the fever we should monitor the saturation of oxygen, that is SpO2 by pulse oximeter. So, pulse oximeter is essential. Pulse oximeter is essential for the management of the COVID patient from the first day, because usually patient goes to the respiratory problems within 7 to 8 days. Usually first it has infective stage, it is in the throat for 7 days, and after 7 to 8 days, 8 to 13 days it goes, it mainly create problem in the pulmonary system. What it create problem? It create problem hypoxia. It will be, we can manage by oxygen, and oxygen saturation by it will be given from the cylinder, or oxygen concentrator is a machine that can produce air from the atmospheric air. Then what he damage in the lungs, he made inflammation in the lung tissue, and inflammation may cause accumulation of fluid and bleeding in the alveoli. Alveoli is the responsible for gaseous exchange. So, when fluid is accumulated, no gaseous exchange usually occurred, and it cause gradual deterioration of SpO2, that is saturation. So, when we say when we can monitor that patient's oxygen saturation gradually deteriorated, so we can easily understand that patient's lung tissue are gradually damaged. So, from the first, when saturation is usually 96 to 99%, when it comes to the 94%, we should start oxygen, as well as we should start anticoagulant. And now anticoagulant is two types, may be oral or injectable. In case of my father, we use injectable anticoagulant, but in case of a general people or some others or any, we are studying on that, and we found that oral anticoagulant may be used for prophylactic in some patients. Prophylaxis is rivaroxaban, apixaban like drugs are available in Bangladesh. If we when saturation is gradually goes down, if we start oral anticoagulant from the beginning, maybe thromboembolism not occurred, or bleeding or accumulation of fluid not occur in the lung. So, further damage, further deterioration of the saturation may not be happened. So, what are the difference between injectable and oral anticoagulant? That injectable anticoagulant have some extra benefit against inflammatory actions, and in case of oral anticoagulant, it can be easily taken, and it is cost effective, and it some disadvantage that onset of action as 2 hours, and if patient get antiviral drugs, oral anticoagulant may not be given. And further interesting thing is some authors say that in Asians, in case of Asians, pulmonary venous thromboembolism occurs less. So, for all including considering all things, we can use oral anticoagulant, that is rivaroxaban or apixaban as prophylaxis against venous thromboembolism. It needs further investigation and further research and further trial. I hope further trial will confirm the oral anticoagulant as for the prevention of prophylaxis of the thromboembolism. Now, how can we other than oxygen and anticoagulant, we should advise to the patient to sleep in a prone position. Prone position at least 5 to 6 hours a day, and should take protein rich diet, should take sufficient fluid, and breathing exercise, mild breathing exercise, and symptomatic drugs. And patient can be monitored by chest X-ray and others D-dimer investigations to the situation of the thromboembolism, monitor C-reactive protein and complete blood count and other investigation. All can be arranged in the home by some diagnosis center. They collect blood or sample from the home. So, in my experience, what is the limitation? Limitations are the attendance for or nursing for a patient. As I am a doctor, my wife Dr. Nazar Siddiqui, he is also a doctor, and my mother is a very active person. So, we can manage easily further, but if if any has like this, they should be go to hospital. And if a person as a patient, everybody should go under the treatment of a supervision under a doctor. These treatments are nothing cannot be done with easily without a supervision of a doctor. And our experience and the physicians and those who involved in my treatment, we are go through the subject, and we already written a article which is already accepted by a renowned publication from of our country, and it will be published within a very short time. So, our take home message, last and take home message is elderly patients, comorbid and smoking patients, those are affected COVID-19 are very risky, and they should be observed from the monitor from the first day. And in case of COVID-19, silent hypoxia with or without shortness of breathing should be diagnosed first, but by the pulse oximeter. Pulse oximeter is essential to diagnose the silent hypoxia, and if we can diagnose silent hypoxia early, patients' lives can be saved. And also pulse oximeter in sense some high grade mobile phone or smartphone have the apps like pulse oximeter apps that also can help in the diagnosis of or monitor the saturation of oxygen. So, patient can easily monitor their saturation. And then as treatment, oxygen supply can be ensured by oxygen cylinder and oxygen concentrator. There are many companies, you can go through the online and you can easily find the cylinder and concentrator supplier. And prophylactic anticoagulant, that is oral or injectable, usually injectable commonly used, but they are expensive, and due to injection there is hematoma and some other problems usually happen. That also occurs in my father's case, and it is also expensive. So, it has some further trial is oral anticoagulant may be used as prophylaxis. And according to, there is a controversy between the home management and hospital management. In my experience, in this pandemic and this situation, all patients cannot get bed in the hospital, and we have some views that there are some patients they died before reaching to hospital. So, if we manage some patients in the hospital and some patient if we manage in the home, that is a very great situation for the all others. At last, I give my respectful thanks to physicians, those who sacrifice their life to fight against the coronavirus. And I also get full respect and thanks to my father, who insists me to write and to go through the media or go through the others to know them to fight for to ready to fight against the virus. I also thanks and respectful thanks to my main mentor Professor Abdullah, who contribute a lot in the development of ENT and ENT Institute and any development of ENT subjects. And I also grateful to my co-authors who are contributed a lot in the preparing of article. And I also grateful to Bangladesh ENT Hospital Limited, who confirmed my supply of oxygen cylinders for my father, and pulse oximeter and authentic diagnostic and consultation. They collect my blood samples, pathological samples from my house. I also grateful to my K53 best friends of Dhaka Medical College and 26th batch of Rajshahi Cadet College, who contributes a lot in the fight with me to help me. And I respect and gratitude to physicians and nurses and all other health workers, journalists and administrators, police and politicians who all together fight against coronavirus and who devoted their life to fight against coronavirus under dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. At last I want to say that prevention is better than cure. We have to fight 14 days. We have to fight 14 days against the coronavirus. If we can fight 14 days against coronavirus, we will win. So at last we hope that if we can diagnose hypoxia by pulse oximeter and can manage in home or hospital isolation, death due to coronavirus can be tremendously reduced. And if this concept is appreciated by the physicians and policymakers of early diagnosis of silent hypoxia and treatment, then we can think about new strategic plan to fight against coronavirus that can reduce death tremendously. So after considering all the informations and our experience, we can be conclude that spread of coronavirus cannot be stopped, but we can only we can be delayed by isolation and other factors. So we should fight against coronavirus against defensive mechanism, defensive process. So we should think in the total procedure about the diagnosis and the management of the coronavirus. Thank you for observing my presentation. You can also find me in the Facebook as Abdullah Harun, and you can in YouTube as Dr. Harun ENT specialist. If you think it is helpful to you or your relatives or known persons, you share it to them to be a part of fight against coronavirus. Thank you.